The pursuit of having a well mind can often lead those doing the work to feeling like the onus is always on them to do the work. Let me propose that maybe your pursuit of wellness doesn't require that you do more work in your relationship. Maybe it requires that you show up more as yourself. Let's think about that. Thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to another episode of the Sonshine State. My name is Sonshine Wiley, and I am your host. Today, I have an amazing guest with me, and I'll let her introduce herself shortly. But I do want to start with just kind of recognizing and realizing that we don't always have to be more in order to get more results. We don't always have to do more to get results. Sometimes we just have to show up as ourselves more often to be able to attract the things that are actually for us. So with that being said, I'll let my guest introduce herself. Today I have the owner and creator of Polish Perfect / a whole bunch of other things that she'll talk about. So I'll give it over to Miss Mellony Ferrell.
Hello, you guys. I'm Melanie, the owner of Polish Perfect all natural skincare products, and I am here on the Sonshine State today.
Ooh.
Exciting. It is exciting.
So tell the people about yourself. Why should they know who you are? What is Polish Perfect?
Polish Perfect is you. How you feel, how something makes you feel, how you feel when you get dressed up. It's a feeling that I want everybody to feel.
Okay. And so what does Polish Perfect offer?
We offer all natural skincare products.
Okay.
Body butters, scrubs, hair supplements, everything for your skin.
Yep. And this glow, this shine that you're seeing is compliments of Polish Perfect today. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm just going to put that out there. So I'm not going to make it a whole bunch of crazy stuff that we're jumping into. I do want to talk about some things that have kind of been trending and top of mind lately. There have been some things that have been happening in, of course, the social media world, as well as in everywhere else, where you're just seeing stuff and it just be like, what? Right. And I don't often cover these on the Sonshine State because I try to steer clear of that and really focus more inward. But I'm realizing more and more that the stuff that we are seeing affects us inwardly. So we got to talk about it. Definitely. We got to be able to focus and go through those things and understand how they affect us and, how we want to operate in the midst of those things. So we already know it's a whole bunch of crap going on with the government. There are changes, that one big beautiful bill thing that's going on. I've literally had to sit through conferences and video things telling me what to expect, how to make changes for payroll, for taxes, for FMLA. All kind of things are changing as a result of that. So we're not talking about that today. We're going to talk about some other stuff that's, I guess, more of the trash TV type things. Did you know Glorilla went to jail?
No.
Sis went to jail because, so here's what happened. Somebody tried to break in her house, right?
Oh, wow.
And she wasn't even there. So somebody tried to break in her house. Whoever was at her house called the police. Police got there. Whoever was trying to break in her house had already gotten away, escaped, whatever, right? So in the midst of the police getting there and them giving them the report saying, hey, this is what happened, there's some damage done, them, taking their report, all the things that they normally do. The police was trying to be a little nosy, snooping around a little lady house. I'm embellishing a little bit. They probably wasn't really being nosy, but because they have a nosy mentality sometimes, they was looking around and they realized that she had a lot of weed. And because she had a lot of weed in her house, this is the state of Georgia, by the way. This is not California. So
okay. Because
they realized she got a whole bunch of weed in her house, I'm assuming she's not supposed to have a whole lot of weed in her house. So instead of catching the person who was robbing her, they were like, oh, she's not here, but she need to go ahead and turn herself in because she under arrest because she got this weed in her house and she's not supposed to have it.
Wow.
So Glow is in, I think she already posted bail. She got a mugshot and everything. It's through social media and stuff like that. But sis went to jail over some weed. So it's like, you call the police to try to get me to protect yourself because somebody is trying to invade your space. And then you end up going to jail.
That's crazy.
Ain't that crazy?
That's crazy.
How would you feel if, say, I don't know, we in California, so it's a little different.
Well,
Weed is
I'm from
weed. Everybody
Charleston.
got weed.
I'm from South Carolina, so weed there is illegal.
So weed is illegal in South Carolina?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I think we just take for granted that everybody smokes weed in California.
Yeah. I just got here. I'm not used to the fact that, it's okay. I'd be like,
Really?
yes. Oh, we could do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
So y'all still be trying to sneak.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
it's not like I'm like a weed smoker. I have done it occasionally, but like it never has really been my thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I guess because it has never really been my thing, I kind of never really paid attention to it. But it was just crazy to me that she called to try to have herself protected, and as a result,
Right.
she went to jail. That's wild.
Yeah.
And it had to pay
very
like,
wild.
it's like $23,000 that she had to pay for a bond to get out. It wasn't very high, but it's a lot when it's as a result of you trying to be protected.
Well, everything here is a business. The hospital is a business. Mm-hmm. Police, there's a business. Her name and who she is and what she has.
Yep.
Okay. They're going to look for something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. They said somebody going to jail today. Mm-hmm. Somebody, we not finna just be spending our tax dollars for nothing. We finna get something out of this. Child, that's crazy. It is. So there's also this other thing called Feel Free that has now come out. It's like in the form of a little bottle, and it looks like an energy, like little energy drink shot thingy, kind of like how 5 Hour Energy used to look in the little bitty bottle.
Yeah.
But it's blue, and it says it's called Feel Free. So in this bottle, I saw this post where this guy was saying online that people were like fiending for it, and this lady was in the gas station. She was working the register, and she was like, people coming there 5-6 times a day, getting more and more of it because it's so addictive.
I've never heard of it.
So Feel Free is the new crack.
Oh, okay. Well,
The crack-like addiction and things like that. I'm not going to say it's the new crack, but still, people are addicted to it like that. And it was this 14-year-old boy outside of the gas station, from what this post said, and he was like begging people, like, "Hey, can you buy me one of these? Can you buy me one of these?" And then tried to steal this person's wallet because he was like, "Oh no, I'm good on that." Because he was like, "Do you want some food?" And he was like, "No, I don't want any food. I want this." So. Yeah, y'all still clear. We don't got time. Look, we got out of the crack epidemic. Heroin, heroin.
Well, what is in it?
I don't know.
What's the ingredients? What does it supposed to give you energy?
I don't. You know what?
I've
I don't
never
know.
heard of it. I haven't even.
Let's see what it's supposed to be. Because I don't even know, what does Feel Free have in it, and what is it supposed to do? Depending on which product is being referred to, Feel Free contains, oh God, AI. So it's supposed to be a wellness tonic. Wow.
It don't sound too well.
It's supposed to be a wellness tonic that has supposed to have a blend of plant-based ingredients. The ingredients are known for their traditional uses in wellness and their potential effect on mood, relaxation, and energy. You know what? It's a lot of people these days that are trying to self-medicate because they're trying to escape from whatever it is. And because I guess that's never ending. I guess my recommendation is like, at this point, maybe we should really be not necessarily just pushing therapy, but normalizing therapy.
Yeah. Especially in the Black community.
Especially in the Black community. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of people out here who are trying their best to figure out life for themselves, and I guess because they're not finding it, the way that they're looking for escape is through substances, which has happened year after year after year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a cycle.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. The last thing. Okay. Love Island. Have you been watching Love Island?
No.
So I wasn't watching it either.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait. I saw something.
Okay.
No, that was called Cheat.
Cheat?
Yes.
Did you? Okay, what is that about?
Now, that's about your ex. Mm-hmm. Like, you want to get back with your ex cheated on you, and y'all been apart for like a couple of months or a year or so, and they get back together on this show and try to work it out.
Okay.
I sat and watched the whole episode yesterday.
Okay.
And it was pretty interesting. I don't want to give it away. It's on Netflix.
Give it away, girl. We do spoilers all the time. Go
No,
ahead.
it's on Netflix.
I'm not
going to
gonna watch
watch
it.
it. But you might watch it.
I'm so okay.
It's a lots of ups and downs, and you can almost like tell who's going to make it and who's not going to make it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you think that couple's going to make it, and no.
Oh
they
my
don't
gosh.
make it. So it's good.
My thing is that if I was so hurt and I was so down and despondent by you cheating on me enough to leave you, because for some people that's not a deal breaker. So I'm just going to say, for me personally, if I was in that situation and I left because of cheating, I don't see myself using the platform of a reality show to reunite us. I just don't see that being how we're going to work through this. Now, I didn't say I wouldn't see myself trying to get back with you, because I've done that before. I ain't gonna lie. I've been back with a person who cheated on me before.
One time. Me once.
One time.
And then, excuse me, not again. No.
What happened?
What? Girl.
What happened?
What happened what? Like how? What you mean? Like when?
Is this the one you cut?
No.
Who the one you... Tell me about the one you cut.
Oh my God. That's not a cheating incident.
Oh, what was that? What
that was a
that?
keep your hands to yourself incident.
Oh, well, you got to keep your hands to yourself now.
Yes, Lord, because that eyebrow archer did some damage.
you got the man with an eyebrow archer.
Yes, smiley face.
Oh my gosh, how did that happen?
He put his hands on me, like pushed me up against the wall. He hit me in the...
Right.
I was like, who you playing with? Oh, no, that's not going to happen. This is not the person. I'm not that girl.
No.
Yeah.
Look.
No, I'm not that girl.
Look, but sometimes you have to get to that point. Like I have said over and over again that I try not to allow myself to get to that point because, like, I've said it before, I am still a Sagittarius. As much of this wellness that I have chosen to operate in,
that's
I am
right.
still a Sagittarius through and through. Okay?
I'm not a Sagittarius. I'm a Cancer.
Same thing.
So, I mean, they say we cry, but watch out when we crying. Facts. I'm not a person that choose violence before love.
No.
It takes a minute for me to get there.
Yes.
And once I'm fed up, I'm fed up. In a relationship, once I'm done, that light is off.
Yes.
It's pitch black.
Yes.
I ain't coming back.
Yes.
Especially with the cheating. I've learned. That was younger. That was a younger relationship, and it went on. Mm-hmm. But
because you gotta also think about it like this: certain people cheat because that's just who they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people cheat because that's who they are. Some people cheat because it's out of fear, and then some people cheat because they think that that they're missing something.
Mm-hmm. Find something better. Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And for any of those reasons, it has nothing to do with you.
Right.
It has everything to do with that person. Mm-hmm. And if that person in themselves feel like whatever situation they're in is not sufficient enough or not what they need to be actually committed to, then they wasting everybody's time. Like, y'all might as well be in an open relationship and be honest about it.
Exactly.
Like, don't cheat. Like, that shit is old.
See, that person knew.
That shit is old.
That Mellony playing that. It's only me.
Yeah.
It's only me.
Yeah.
And it's only going to be me.
Though, right.
No.
Like, be honest with this person. Be like, hey, you know what? This is the type of relationship that I want. Is that cool with you? If not, let me move on and find the person that is okay with this type of a relationship.
Right. Give me the choice to choose what I want to do.
Choose whether or not I want to be a part of your team.
Right. Not the roster, the basketball team, or the football team. What kind of team? Baseball team? What kind of team is it? Swimming team? Because I can't swim, so no.
Oh! Not a swim team. Whatever team. It should be
no team.
We playing tennis doubles. That's it. That's all we got.
That's right.
1 and 2. That's all we got. That's all we got.
No
player A and player
like
B. Me and you. That's all I got
1 and 2
for.
That's
That's
that
it.
song. It's just me and you.
Yes. That's all I got the capacity for. Because I don't have time to try to juggle and navigate the mindset, mentality, and ego of more than one person.
No.
Because everybody got emotions, even though people try to pretend like they don't, especially men. They be like, I don't got no emotions. I'm simple. A lie. Y'all got emotions
too. They have
y'all got emotions. It might be different emotions, but y'all got emotions. Stop playing.
Right.
But yeah, so that's crazy. You out here. Let me find out you out here cutting people. Let me not lie.
Just one time.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm not gonna tell all my stories. One time, one of these days, I'm gonna sit down and give my real story of certain things because, like I said before, I don't choose violence initially, but if you take me there, Jesus gonna have to pull me back. So I was like, you know what? Let me not. It's crazy. But this whole Love Island stuff, I don't necessarily understand the allure of trying to go on this show to find love, because you already know that the way reality TV has gone, like there's not very much success when it comes to love.
Right.
Like real love, not real and lasting love. Like they have not really produced that. Wait, have you seen?
I was about to, excuse me. Go ahead.
Have you seen the show? What's that one with Nick Lachey and Vanessa, him and his wife, where they like Love is Blind.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so there have been some lasting relationships off of that show. So have you seen that show?
A long time ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Long time.
But yeah, there've been some stuff off that. But generally, I just don't think that those type of shows are what we're going to be looking at in order to get true love. And so I feel sorry for people who are going on there anything other than to play the game and to like really try to get their name out there. If you're a content creator and you trying to like get your name out there, okay, cool. That show is for you. But if you out here trying to find... Hell yeah. If you out here really trying to find your bae, you're not doing it on no damn show where America gets to vote whether or not you're going to switch up partners.
I ain't going on that show for no content.
Because on that show, you get to vote whether or not you think that person A and person B need to stay together. So they don't even have a choice whether or not they're going to stay together.
Didn't they move in together too?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a whole lot of shacking and snacking and shaking and all the things. I don't think it seemed like the show that'll eat you up if you're really there looking for something genuine, and especially if you're not ready for something like that. That's why you see people crying all the time on them shows and stuff like that. They're not ready for that. Hell no. Okay, anyway, so out of the...
Girl.
it's a lot.
It is.
But this is why I be trying to talk about it, because
head.
it's like... I'm so shielded from stuff like that because I don't be watching stuff like that.
Right, I don't want
that
to.
My mind be so focused, so singularly focused on either trying to do my entrepreneurial stuff or work on my body or work on my mind or work on my money that I don't really see none of that other stuff. Which is helpful, but it's not realistic in the long term.
Right.
Because you're going to be exposed to that stuff. How you going to react to it? Like what's going to happen if you get put in a situation with somebody who got that type of mentality?
You got to be careful.
Right. Well, speaking of mentality, what type of mentality did you have to be in? Because I want to shift gears here. What type of mentality did you have to be in? Because you don't really tell this in your bio, but you've had several different brands. So in the several different brands that you've had, you started off with, what was it called?
You don't remember?
What was it called?
Piece by
Piece. Okay. So you started in Piece by Piece. And then in the mix there, you also had a fitness apparel line, right?
Yeah, that was after Piece by Piece. That was even a little bit during the time of Polished Perfect.
Yeah.
Kind of like at the same time.
Got you. So in the midst of you having all of that, like how do you prepare yourself or shift your mindset? Because I know it can't be easy to do one thing, to start one thing, and then not be as successful as you envision it being, and then having to move on to something else. So what was your mindset like when you were having to make those transitions?
You feel like a failure.
Yeah.
You do. But I know that I wasn't, because I knew that first go at entrepreneurship was not the field for me. I mean, I love fashion, everything about it. the clothing, the hair, the makeup, the jewelry. You know, I love everything about it. But that industry and that field was just not for me. I did not have the time or the resources, you know, or even the support. That's the number one thing is the support.
So what kind of support were you looking for?
Well, you know, when you are either in a relationship or even if you're married and that individual that you're with does not believe in your dream or does not, I ain't gonna say doesn't believe, but just doesn't have the same mindset, the entrepreneurial mindset as you, it is hard to move forward. It is hard to discuss things that you want to discuss because they're not, for lack of a better description, not on the same level of you when you're trying to build something from the ground.
Yeah.
Listen, the house needs a solid foundation.
Yeah.
Your business needs a solid foundation. And when I say solid, I mean your team. It doesn't have to be a whole slew of people.
Right.
It'd be 1 or 2 persons.
Right.
You know, and that if that foundation is shaky or the doubt is there, guess what? Doubt is like cancer.
Yeah.
And it grows fast.
Yeah. And that's why it's important to have somebody who believes in what you're trying to do. Now, it's important to have a person who can, you know, create a healthy balance and create a space for you to be able to question and for them to like ask questions that might, you know, cause you to think about different things and things like that. But not a person who is there to just dismantle what you're trying to do.
Right.
Because there's a difference between a person who wants to assist and make things better and a person who's just trying to tear it down.
It is.
Yeah, big difference. So that's okay. Sorry, continue. I interrupted you.
So, but I'm just saying, like, piece by piece was where I wanted to help you build your wardrobe. Okay, so you know how you shop and you get a piece from here, get a piece from there. But I was gonna build your wardrobe piece by piece. Your clothing, your jewelry, accessories. You know, everything.
Yeah.
But you know, I do commend those people who are in that industry because it's a lot. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know, you don't think about the different sizes and the material, how it feels. And me, I'm a picky person. So me, the brands that I want to do, or the clothing, or the material that I want.
Right.
You know, I'm not wearing cheap material.
No.
If I think it's cheap, if I think I'm not gonna wear it, I'm not gonna present it to the world for you to buy it.
Right. Right.
You know, and so that's when I was living in Atlanta.
So what years was this?
Oh, man. That was like about 10, 20 years ago now.
So you were Stitch Fix before Stitch Fix was Stitch Fix.
Yes, I was, I had that in mind.
Wow, because that's exactly what they do. They provide, like, you pay like a subscription thingy, and they send you like a box of things that are your pieces for that month. You say what you want to keep and what you don't want to keep, and you're charged for what you want, and not charged for the things that you don't want.
Right, but mine was like an online boutique. Okay,
Got you.
You know, shop online and I send it to you.
Got you.
But yeah, then I had men's things on there too, suits and stuff. So you know, I was trying to get into it, but it's hard. That I didn't have the time.
So then, when you had to create the shift from piece by piece to Polished Perfect was next. So from piece to piece to Polished Perfect, what was your thought process there? Like you said that initially that wasn't the industry for you, that wasn't the avenue for you. How do you find what is for you?
It took years for me to even think of being an entrepreneur again. You know, I just went into the work field and I put myself into my work. Like I was selling jewelry. I became a diamondologist, then a gemologist, you know, ran some stores, was over some stores in Colombia. That's where Polished Perfect was born.
Got you.
And that was many years after Piece by Piece. So Polished Perfect was born in Columbia, South Carolina.
Nice. So is there a passion or a desire to stay what is it, Diamondology?
Yeah, diamondologist.
Diamondologist, okay, yes. Because I clearly don't know. But
okay.
So is there a desire to like continue on that path, or was there something that you just knew that, you know, this was cool to do, I enjoyed the experience, but that's not my path either?
I miss it, but I don't miss it.
Okay.
Okay, and if it was a luxury, like if I'm side by side with Jacob the jeweler, hell yeah, come on, Jacob. Me and Jacob arm in arm.
Right.
But for me to say, oh yes, this is what I'm gonna do. This is no. But if it's feeding my business, then of course I'll go and do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So from polished perfect to fetish fitness.
Fetish athletics.
Fetish athletics with the S.
Yes,
with the S.
No,
because that's important.
Oh my God!
How do we? Oh, you got to tell them that story.
Oh Lord.
You got to tell them. Tell them the story.
My buddy's gonna be mad at me. No, he's not. Okay. He's not. So, fetish athletics. Yes. That's what it's supposed to be. Fetish athletics.
Yes.
I bought a slew of some hoodies and like so crop jackets, and a friend of mine was like, "Oh, you don't need. I could print that for you. Just buy the vinyl." And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna write out what I want on it and where I want it at." He got it done. You guys, I was so excited. I pull out the hoodie, and I'm like, okay. And then I looked at the sleeve. And the sleeve said, you want to tell them what the sleeve said?
Fetish athletic?
Yes, not athletics. And the whole
everything I ordered.
Everything I ordered was...
Dang, Gina. See, sometimes that's why let me not give power to my need for control sometimes. Because sometimes things like that feed into the reason why I want to overlook certain things. Because I want to make sure that we don't have misspelled words.
And it was written out.
It was written out.
It was written. I had it on the paper. I gave it to him. I texted to him. I emailed it to him. It was just...
Oh, Jesus. What he had in his mind was that you are athletic. And he wanted to showcase.
Man, please. I don't want to hear it. Don't try to make me feel better because it's gone now. I was giving those things away to people.
Really?
Yes, because I couldn't even put the S on the end of it.
Because it was filling up so much space.
Yes.
Oh,
yep.
wow.
So everything was ruined. And they were great quality hoodies. For real.
We can't live in the past.
Okay, I'm not.
We can't live in the past.
My soul is hurt.
Your soul hurt.
I didn't really show too much madness with him.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Because he was doing it from the kindness of his heart.
Uh-huh. And we appreciate the gesture. We do.
And I didn't have to pay for it. See? Everything free ain't good for you.
So I think it's real important to have the support that you're talking about. And I think that it's also really important to have people in your life who believe in the dream that you have. And so, wait, forgive my curiosity. Is the same person, well, no, you said it was a friend of yours. So I was about to say, is the same person that you cut, the same person that did these shirts?
Oh, no.
Did you cut him over these shirts?
No. The cut person was... Child, I've been in college.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. College was some foolishness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whole bunch of it.
He was a really jealous person.
Okay.
Yeah, insecure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what is your current relationship status?
I have a friend.
Okay. A friend. Does this friend know he a friend?
I say friend.
Okay. I mean, clearly. Because we even ask dudes this. Do you have a person who think they in a relationship with you? Because we ask dudes that all the time. So I'm serious. Anyway, okay, I'm going to move past this. Your
Thank
friend.
you, I'm a Cancer.
Okay. Your friend. So, your friend.
Uh-huh.
Tell me about... Oh, jeez Louise. Okay. Why do women do like this? Like, I literally posted a TikTok of one of my previous episodes. And
I need a tissue.
I posted an episode of a previous conversation, and the girl started laughing when I asked her a question about like what are wifely duties that she won't do for a guy in the talking stage. You know how mad those people got at me for saying like that there's supposed to be a distinction between like your talking phase, how you do things, your dating phase, how you do things, your when we're in a relationship doing things, and your marriage things. Like you're not just supposed to be like, here's everything I got. I just met you 3 days ago.
Slow your roll.
Right. Like, I'm supposed to be, like, already meeting your family, cooking for everybody, bringing you shit at work, and spreading it wide, and showing you all my little tips and tricks from day one.
No.
That ain't how it's supposed to go, is it?
No.
I mean, that's what we thought. But these men was saying...
It's a different generation now. Are these older men that saying that? Or these young little whippersnappers out here saying that?
It was some older men saying that. No, they were like, it's he that find a wife. You're supposed to already be a wife.
Okay, so you're supposed to already be a husband?
Yeah. And they were trying to flip it on me and say, well, is a man supposed to already do like the husbandy stuff, like paying all the bills from the first date? I'm like, absolutely not. We don't need you for that. Like, for real, somebody who really wants to get to know you don't need you for that. Not from the jump. Now, I'm not talking about...
Go stag. Huh? Go stag.
Oh, yeah, stag. I had to remember what stag was. I was like, stag?
Don't be making me feel old.
No, I mean, the only person who I've heard say that before was my mom. So
she's trying to make me feel old.
I was not trying to do that. We are not that far apart in age.
Exactly.
We're really not.
That's what I said. Whatever.
But it might also be a Southern thing.
Probably. It could be.
Because she had...
we in California.
My mom had more time in the South than I did. Mm-hmm. So it's some Southern things that I'm not familiar with. Okay. I don't think it's an age thing. I think it's a Southern thing.
Okay, I'll let her pass on that.
But yeah, so I think that's true. So anyway, with your people, have you had a relationship with a person who felt like they needed to get all of it from you from the start in order for you to prove yourself to them?
No. Mm-hmm. No. I never had that problem. Okay. Because I am who I am. Mm-hmm. And I treat you how you treat me. Not saying you treat me bad. Okay. But I'm just saying there's levels to this thing. Yeah. There's levels to Melanie that you got to unlock.
You got to elevate. You got to graduate.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I'm a Cancer, so I'm actually just nurturing from the start. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not going to baby you, mm-hmm. but I'm a nurturing individual. Right. Nurturing and loving. Right. But I'm not going to give you all of me. Yeah. And you giving me this much of you. Yes.
Yeah. I unfortunately had a friendship to end. The girl was, and I didn't even realize the friendship ended, but then it ended. I noticed that we wasn't Facebook friends anymore. Oh. So I was like, I guess we're not friends no more. Okay. But we really hadn't talked in a while. Things had happened for her. Both of her parents ended up passing away. Oh, wow. Within like a few months of each other. Oof. And
I know that's hard.
You know, then she had some stuff going on with her personal life, relationships and stuff like that. And then things just kept piling on and kept happening. Lifing. And, you know, I would try to reach out and I wouldn't get like responses, especially when her parents were passing. I was like, you know, you good? Let me try to reach out. Let me try to come see you, da, da, da. And I just wasn't getting through. And then later on, I'm like, oh, we not Facebook friends no more. I guess we not friends no more. But yeah, so she had already gone through a whole bunch of changes anyway. She was like, I'm not a Christian no more. Like we met in the church. Like we were both singing gospel. And then she was like, I'm not a Christian no more. I've decided to, you know, change the way I feel about religion and beliefs and things like that. Which
and this
is her
was
choice.
After her parents passed away?
No, this was before. So she went through a series of changes in the whole friendship that we went through. Mm-hmm. And so we went through those things. You know, we had our series of ups and downs. We had our conversations and our own come to Jesus's or get together conversations. And then, you know, we go through all this stuff. I had a child. My child was months old when I first met her. That lets you know how long I've known this person. Okay. Because my child's now 13. Time. Yeah, okay. So, my child was a few months old. She's sitting in on our practices while we singing and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So she go through all this stuff throughout the time that I've known her. And then it ends up like We don't have any connection anymore, any communication. But she was also a Cancer. When we first met, she was very caring. I used to call her the walking Walgreens. This girl got everything. Like in that bag, that purse, everything.
Oh, wow.
Like I actually miss this person a lot. But like she carries and displays those things. But I think that when I reflect back on that friendship, there were some things that I could have done better, because when I got into my whole scenario, when I was trying to work on my mental health, I was in a deep depressive mode. I wasn't talking to nobody. Like I wasn't answering phone calls. I wasn't doing this. I wasn't doing that. And I was just trying to be in my own box, because I don't want to spew that on nobody else. Because, in the church, we're taught, don't bleed on people.
Right.
Don't spew all your stuff on other people. So you keep it in your box to yourself. And sometimes, it might be helpful to keep certain things to yourself, but you need to find somewhere to release it.
Yeah, like when I was in the jewelry.
Yeah.
And, people would come in there and be looking for, they just open up to me. Like they just start telling me what's going on in their lives. Or, some people even come in and just prophesy. I'd be like...
But that says something about who you are.
Right. But sometimes it's weary.
It is.
It's heavy.
It is.
And you just be mentally exhausted.
Yeah.
Not just from listening to them, but also trying to sell jewelry and, be a chameleon and mimic what you see across the counter.
Right.
And, it's not just a feeling. It's emotion.
Yeah.
It's these people's lives.
Yeah.
So I can understand when you said you're not trying to put it on somebody else.
Right.
But sometimes, like you said, you got to release it. And so when I used to go home at night from work, and my mom used to call me, I'd be like, I ain't feel like talking to nobody.
Yeah.
Not just her, but I just like, I'm home. I need to relax. I need to deflate. I need to release all this, because believe it or not, you're a vessel.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a vessel. And you got to understand you're a vessel. You got to understand how God uses you as well. So I had to come to one-on-one. Be like, Lord, these people that's coming to me and this telling me everything. This I felt heavy. So I had to figure out, how do I release this heaviness off of me?
Yeah. And yeah.
I be like, Lord, I got problems too, but I ain't talking to nobody about it. Yeah. Maybe I should.
You absolutely should. I got a referral for somebody who, not my therapist, but a different therapist, because you can't share therapists with your friends. That's not a good idea.
Not my therapist.
No, you can't. It's not a good idea. It's not a good idea because that therapist, my therapist doesn't have historical knowledge of you, because I ain't talked about you in
but
therapy.
I'll be coming back to you like, girl, why you talking about something?
Right.
You haven't told you that before?
Right. Yeah, I just generally don't recommend my therapist to my friends, because if it comes a day and I'm talking to my therapist and I'll be like, you know what this bitch did? And then you in the same session an hour later, do you know what this bitch did? See, we don't got time for that.
No.
She's going to be like,
oh my God.
Wait.
I know what you're talking about.
Wait, did you say this or did she say? It's confusing. I'm not trying to have that. So, but I do have a referral. Should you need somebody, there is a network of Black women therapists, and I highly recommend, and not to be racist, but because there is a niche that lives within the mind of a Black woman who's going through certain things and who has lived through certain things, who needs a person who has experienced or seen those things to be able to speak to those things.
I agree. Just like your Black female doctors.
Yeah, exactly.
We need those in the industry. We need them.
Yes. Like the dermatologist that I just booked a
dermatologist.
thing with. I'm like, I need you to have some pigmented skin. You don't got to be Black, but you at least need pigmented skin.
Yeah, you need to know about my skin.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. I found an Indian lady. I was like, okay, good enough. That's pigment.
That's
I need you to help me out.
That's why I started Polish Perfect.
Uh-huh.
I'm serious. Melanin skin.
Yeah.
You can't be using all those things off those shelves, and they say they do this and do that, but they ain't gonna do it for your skin. They might do it for their skin, but it's not gonna do it for our skin.
No, Yeah. And I think that we have been shamed into thinking that we shouldn't have a sense of pride because of who we are, because we've been put down in the media in so many different ways that, it's like sometimes I even find myself being like, okay, y'all, it's too much. All right, we saying black pride a lot. Like, we saying this, we saying that a lot. Oh, my God. But then I had to check myself like, hey, why wouldn't you be proud of who you are?
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you being proud of who you are? Mm-hmm. Everybody else get to be happy about who they are. Why you can't be happy about who you are?
I feel like that stems from our work.
Ooh.
From the work that we do in the office and who we are around.
Yes.
Okay, because I had to check somebody multiple times about this. Oh, you're not going to sell July 4th? No, I'm not celebrating that. That's not my... that's not my... Me. Yeah, that's not for me. On my Independence Day. No, I'm not. Oh, you don't have no green on? I said, you better not pinch me because I don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
I'm not Irish.
I'm not Irish. Like, stop coming to me with these little holidays that you celebrate that don't have anything to do with me. So June 19th, I said, oh, you're not going to celebrate June 19th? I was like, where's your colors? Where's your red, black, and green? Where's your African colors?
People had a whole snafu, a whole attitude this year over Juneteenth colors. Like, there was a whole post going back and forth, and people were like, well, Juneteenth colors aren't actually red, black, and green. It's supposed to be red, white, and blue to symbolize that we're actually a part of the American culture and this, that, and the other.
No.
I'm like, does it matter? Are you celebrating Juneteenth or not?
Right.
I think that sometimes we focus on the wrong stuff. And because we have been so disunified that it's apparent sometimes that we can't really get on one accord and just... Like, even with that whole Target boycott, it was black people in the comments... Well, what is boycotting Target going to do? It's going to show them that you can't just do us dirty and still get our money. Mm-hmm. That's what it's going to do. Mm-hmm. I figured that was real simple and clear.
Yeah, but they celebrate these man-made holidays.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. But anywho.
I still going to do a sale on those holidays.
Look. I'm still gonna have a good little promo code for you so you can come buy my stuff. This apparel.
Hello.
Come buy it. Okay. Come buy it. I'm definitely not about to separate myself in that way.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna capitalize. You capitalize off me.
Hello.
You know who really should capitalize off of Juneteenth? And it's crazy, but I don't want to give them a strategy, but I went on a cruise this year for Juneteenth, and the entire ship was probably 80% black people. And I was walking around the whole ship, happy Juneteenth, happy Juneteenth. And I'm like, if this cruise only knew that these people were here to celebrate Juneteenth, they would have advertised this as the premier Juneteenth cruise. They would have had Juneteenth themed everything. They would have had some whatever kind of food in there.
When they advertise that, you know them niggas gonna be on there. Excuse me.
I just don't want them to have fried chicken and watermelon, because that'll piss me off. That would piss me off. Like, why would y'all do that? Like, just... Because, see, we got to be careful. Like,
serve the regular cuisine.
Like, maybe some soul food. A soul food night. Maybe one.
But they're going to have watermelon and fried chicken.
Well, they got watermelon on a regular buffet. Keep the watermelon on the regular buffet. Just don't put them next to each other.
See how you spend that? You asking for the Juneteenth cruise. But now there's stipulations for that cruise.
I just want them to be careful.
You got to know who you are.
I just want them to be careful.
You got to know who you are.
Because, I just don't need it to be chicken, mashed potatoes, collard greens, watermelon right next to each other.
Macaroni.
Or macaroni and cheese.
Rice
not mashed
sausage.
Potatoes. Sorry. See, red rice is a South Carolina thing. Everybody don't do red rice.
Well, they'll do red rice on that cruise. You'd be surprised.
I never had red rice until I went to South Carolina. I thought, when I first had it, I was like, is this Spanish rice? I did.
Girl, don't make me take your black card.
I'm not from South Carolina, though. I didn't know what it was.
So I was like, that's the first Spanish rice.
I mean, it's red rice. The only rice that I've seen that was
corn in it or nothing.
Spanish rice from where I come from ain't got no corn in it.
Oh, well, see, I don't know.
You see, I come from where the actual Mexicans are.
Where you come from?
Sorry.
You got me crying up here.
That sounds terrible.
Where you come from?
From California. What was formerly Mexico. Or pieces of it was formerly Mexico.
Oh, okay.
So we got the authentic stuff. That little corn stuff, that's the stuff. That's white people put that in there. White people put corn in that rice. That's what that is.
Okay. Hey, I don't know.
Child, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not Hispanic.
Shoot, when you from the South, we do the rice, butter, and corn and salt and pepper. That's a meal.
It
a little
is
sausage.
a meal. It is a meal. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so tell me, what is next for you?
Oh my gosh. That is a loaded question.
Okay. Well, if it's multiple things.
I know and I don't know.
Ooh.
That's the, for me, it's exciting, but then it's also, it is stressful.
Yes, I can understand that.
Of not knowing the unknown.
Yeah.
Or which direction that you actually going to pick to go.
Okay.
Okay? So, I guess I be fighting with myself daily. Like, dang, what I'm going to do today? Like, what I'm going to do? What I'm going to create? Like, what I'm going to make? What's the next goal?
Right.
What should I be working on?
Right. Do you feel insufficient when you don't have a goal for that day?
I feel like I need to be doing something.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
But then I be like, Mel, stop. Just take a day. Something will come to you.
Right.
Like yesterday, I didn't do a damn thing.
Nice.
I didn't do anything. I couldn't think of nothing more to do for Polish Perfect right now.
Ah, got you.
Like the other day, I went to go take pictures outside.
Yeah.
I liked them, but I don't know. I'm like, I don't know, because I'm used to using the light box and the lighting and stuff.
That light box is cute. I'm gonna take that idea. I'm gonna do some product pictures myself with that light box.
Okay.
I saw what you built. I was like, I know how to do that. I don't know why I didn't do that. That's yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
And I did some pictures outside, and I don't know if I like them.
Okay.
I'll let you see them. I don't know if I like them.
Okay.
I think they're nice, but they're not the normal that I'm used to.
Got you.
I would say that.
Got you.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to these labels.
Me too.
Because you've been talking about these labels for like the longest. And I feel like once you get these labels, you have no more barriers to success.
Right, because, me, I feel as though my product is not complete because I don't have the labels yet.
Okay.
I'm being serious. I just feel like I can't really push it like I want to push it because I feel as though it's not complete. And some things, I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it. I know.
Yes.
For me putting it out there without the labels, but that's just me and how I feel. I'd be like, cringing and something like, like somebody want to buy this, I ain't got the label. I just feel like it's unprofessional. That's me. But
so for this next Black Gold event, do you think you'll have labels? Because I'm just curious and ready to set up the little table for you. Or no? Is that going to happen?
We shall see.
We shall see. Okay.
I can't say yes, and I cannot say no.
Okay.
I'm going to say we shall see.
We shall see.
Yes.
By the way, let me ask you this. Because we've been talking about a whole lot of things when it comes to your product, your business, your mentality to get there. What are your personal wellness practices? What do you do in order to keep yourself focused on the go, creating and this and that and the other? Like, because I ask everybody who comes on the show that, what is your personal wellness practice?
I work out.
Okay.
Even if it's not at the gym, which is that's my favorite place to go, is the gym for real.
Yes.
And the moving and life is lifing. You get off track. I'm off track. Right now I'm off track. I just stood on the scale not today, the other day. I stood on the scale and I was like 177. I'm like, oh Lord, I used to be 160. Like, I used to be 160 pounds. I could get that off.
Yes.
I know, but it's much harder to do it in home.
Yes.
So I've been working out at home. I've been going for 30-minute walks. I've been coming back and doing yoga, which almost killed me. Because I was just like, wait a minute. Yoga, I'm thinking this is my cool down session. Girl, I was in here laughing at myself. I was in here laughing at myself. I was in here on the floor shaking.
Yeah.
I was like, and sweating. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Where the other girl at?
Right.
I had to find the other girl who I was doing, because this wasn't what I had in mind.
Yeah.
But no, I like to, I also like to read. But working out is my main source of fueling myself and fueling my mental and having clarity.
Yeah. I didn't realize how much I would miss working out until I
wasn't able to.
This injury has been hell on wheels for me. I have had depressive moments where I'm like, oh my God, I'm useless. And I have had moments to where I'm like, dang, you're never going to get to your goal. Although, because I have adjusted my eating, I've still been like keeping myself on track and kind of on track to like at least having a little bit of weight loss over time. Because luckily I have not gained a bunch of weight from not going to the gym right now. Because I'm, still doing my stuff. But food wise. But I went to physical therapy. And she had me to do simple side steps, slightly bent, because I couldn't go all the way down into a squat yet because it hurts to put pressure on my knee like that. But I did simple side steps, and honey, I was in there about to cry. And I was like, okay, I miss the gym. I miss it so much.
Yeah.
I miss it. But I think that it's important for you to have that wellness practice, because with all the things that you're trying to create, all the things that you're trying to do and the different transitions that you're going to, like, you have to be able to have something that is certain, something that is solid, something that is going to be there. Not something that's variable, not something that is subject to change every 5 minutes, because businesses go and change with economy, with the weather, shit, everything.
The roller coaster.
Right. So having something that is your solid grounding thing, like working out, is super important. I used to use that for myself more, but now I'm getting back into it. I've also had to turn internally for those things as well. So I definitely think that's a dope thing for you to be doing. Before we wrap it up, I know you said it's a loaded question to ask you what's next. So I'm not going to ask you that. I'm just going to ask, how can the people find you? How can the people connect with you? Tell them where you are now.
Well, location-wise, I am in California.
I mean, social media-wise.
I know, I just messed with you. I just messed with you. No, my social media, I have plenty of platforms. I have Facebook, which is Mellony Dulé, and Polish Perfect is on Facebook as well. Instagram is at GoToGirl77. And
then the other 2 pages too.
Yes. And Polish Perfect on Instagram is Polish Perfect 1. And I also have at Following Farrell for fitness.
Got you.
So
do you still post on Following Farrell for your fitness journey?
Every now and again, because I'm not in the gym, I'm not working out, like doing different things. I'm working out, but I'm not like doing different machines or even going to the gym. I'm walking and running in the neighborhood. I mean, there's so many posts I could do about walking and running in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But I'll still post motivational quotes for you guys who do follow me.
Yes.
Of course.
Good.
But to order, as of right now, please DM me or message me your orders or any questions that you may have of the product. I will answer them immediately or as soon as I can. But as of right now, I don't have a website.
Okay.
So you're going to DM me for your orders, and I appreciate your business.
Okay. Excuse me. Well, I thank you so much for being on the show today. I almost lost my life trying to swallow. Anyway, but I appreciate you for being on the show today. I think that it's a lot to say, and it's a lot to be able to be honest about the fact that there are things that we try that might not have been successful, but that doesn't keep us from being able to restructure and resurface in a different way.
So correct. So correct.
So I think that's dope, and I want to commend you for that. And I'm just looking forward to all the things that are to come for you. I am excited.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm excited to see that. Just like you were helping me with all this spades affair stuff,
right.
this black gold
I'm
stuff.
gonna help you.
I'm looking forward to the things that I can do also for you, because as a part of a group of people who are looking to see all of us win, I'm all for it.
Yes,
so I look forward to it. But anywho, I want to leave y'all with this. I know we talked about a whole lot today, but I want to leave you with this. It is very important, like I mentioned a moment ago, that we move from trying to do so much to being able to just show up as who we are. Showing up as who you are is the best gift and the best mode of really connecting with people, because you find your people by being who you are.
Exactly.
So do everything that you can to stay true to yourself, to be your most authentic self, even when it's scary, and just continue to show up and continue to try and to continue to put one foot in front of the other. With that being said, I will say again, we do have our merch available. We have our journals, we have our shirts and sweatshirts and hoodies and things like that. Yep, Well Brand Apparel. The link is definitely in the bio. The website will be popping up. All those things in it. You can find us at www.sonshinestate.com. Again, that is www.sunshine with an O. State.com. And we look forward to what's coming next, guys. Thank you so much for joining us again. My name is Sonshine Wiley. This has been Mellony Ferrell. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So stand out, stand out, stand out. You're here, you're free, absolutely where you need to be.
Thank you for joining the journey to the Sonshine State, a space for health, healing, and wellness.